Hello, everyone. How are you? How are you? How are you? Welcome to our card pool. This is a life purpose oracle card pool. We are going to have three pals, and you're going to pick a card, and we're going to look at what it is that your life purpose is calling you to do. So take a moment and pick your card. Thank you so much for being here. We are using um, Dragon's Blood uh, incense burner, which you can also use sage and other anything else or nothing at all. It's up to you, but that's what we're using today for our readings. Let's take a look at your card. If you picked card one, your card is a healer. You have the spiritual gift of healing and a desire to share it with others. Okay, so and let me be well clear of this word healer. We are all healers, right? We all have the ability to heal. Okay, in our words, in our speaking, in our comforting, um, we all have the ability to heal. The main thing is to learn how to use that to heal ourselves and to heal others in our environment around us. So, like if you're a mother or a father, you might heal your child by the words that you say, or the hugs that you give, or healing their boo boos when they fall down, right? Or the words and advice that you give them, right? Or listening to them when they need you, right? For others, you might be a doctor, for others, you might provide spiritual guidance in Reiki energy healing, in card readings, in therapy. You might do art healing. You might do um, different kinds of yoga exercises, physical healing, right? There's a wide range of healing. So please don't limit this to just what the picture is showing, okay? There's many different advanced ways of healing. But you are called to be a healer. So you're called to step into that energy. I know, like, for example, I know someone that was a very good I didn't know them personally, I just read their story, but they were a salesperson. They sold cars for a living, and they were really good at selling cars. And it was like almost like selling ice cubes to an igloo or to an Eskimo is what they had the sign would say, selling ice cubes to an Eskimo. Like this person could just sell anybody a car, even if they really didn't want it, they would leave there believing that they wanted it, right? And so sometimes like you can be doing something that is your purpose and your path, but you might be using it in a way that isn't really where you would want to be, but it's a stepping stone, right? That person eventually ended up starting a podcast, and they started doing podcasting, and they found out that it wasn't that they were lying to sell cars or being persuasive to sell cars. It was they had the healing ability to understand why the person was there. What were they truly seeking? What were their needs? They had the ability to listen, understand, be compassionate, be adjustable, and help them meet their needs or wants, or sometimes both, right? So they use their healing abilities to help that person to leave feeling better, more confident, and with a vehicle. Um, and in return, that was their healing ability. They just had the skill of being able to uplift people and help people reach their goals. In return, they ended up opening up a podcast, which helped people to embrace who they are and learn who they were meant to become. And they're like they're like um, a very powering influencer on self-esteem and self-love and being able to be realistic about your goals, right? So you might be in a field right now where maybe you're not exactly doing what you want to do, but you are still using that healing skill in your particular field, okay, in whatever you're doing. Pay attention to what you're doing because I guarantee you, you will see that you are actually using that in your particular field. And this is a way of reminding you that you have gifts of healing and you need to expand on those. You need to be aware of those so that you can actively use them where you wish to actively use them. Okay, and your second card, if you picked card two, is school. The answer that you're seeking involves going to school. Okay, so this could be going to um, a college, but this could also be pertaining, like for some of you, you might be getting ready to decide what you're going to do with your career after high school or what you want to do. Maybe you don't like where you're at and you want to change your career and you're debating on whether or not to start a student loan or something like that. This is your confirmation that this is what you're meant to do. Others, school can also represent knowledge. Okay, this card could be simply guiding you to seek more knowledge. Okay, it could be telling you that if this is if what you want is going to require you to gain a little bit more skills, a little bit more experience. Okay, maybe you need to go out there and physically do something in order to gain the skills that you want to have to do something. Okay, if you want to be an artist but you've never picked up a paintbrush, well, you need to figure out how to make that happen. Okay, you need to take your extra money, buy your paint, buy your canvases, maybe watch some YouTube beginners, paintings. You got to do something to make it happen. So this card has a lot of energy around, you know, um, what do you want to see unfold? How do you want to get there? If you want to be of great value, how are you going to make that happen? Right? What teachings, what skills? There's places like Udemy online where you can look up and take different kinds of classes, different things to help you embrace your learning skills more so that you understand things more clearly, right? That could be one of your callings. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're meant to that you have to go back to school, especially if you're like an older person and you're like, oh man, I don't want to do that. That's that doesn't necessarily mean that you are to go back to college, right? This could just be a call for you to gain more knowledge or to use the knowledge that you have in a way that propels you forward. You could have all this knowledge. Yes, that's great, but what are you doing with it, right? If you're not using it to help yourself or to help others, then really what is the purpose of obtaining it? Okay, so this is reminding you um, to pay attention to your questions because your answers are within the knowledge realm of either what you need to do or what you've already done and need to put into action. Okay. And card 3, children. Your life purpose involves helping, teaching, and healing children. Okay, so for you who have picked this card, you are guided and protected to be the light for children. Okay, you are guided to to walk the walk and not just talk the walk. Okay, you are guided to install faith, trust, love, and transformation into children around you. For some of you, this might be a therapist, this might be a foster parent, this might be just being a sibling that a good sibling. This could be being a good family mentor. It could be going out and volunteering in the community. It could be a therapist. It could be healing the inner child. This could be going back and healing your inner child. For some of you, maybe your life was not the way you would have wanted it to be, and that inner child is wounded, and this card is reminding you to go in and love your that inner child and heal that inner child, right? This can also be a calling to step up and be an advocate for the next generations to come, um, or the next generations under you. Okay, so this card is all about doing the work of protection when it comes to children. Like children need to be protected and loved because they are basically they're children. They don't understand and can't do a lot without the support. So that's what this card 3 is reminding you to be that support system. Okay, and you can do it. You got the lion energy. You've got the softness of the lamb. You are you are one of the people. that are here to guard and protect the souls, the children that are coming in during this particular earth time, and to encourage them to step out and be their true selves and the best that they can be. Okay, so thank you so much for tuning in for our life purpose reading. I hope this has helped you and have a great day. Bye.